Glen here with Falcon Quest Birds of Prey. Today I'm going to do a little work to show you about the fundamentals of lure training your bird, getting your bird to start coming to the lure. So the first thing we would do is, of course, you have to have yourself a lure, but the first thing that I start with is this is the lure style that I use. You put the meat in that center ring, so it doesn't matter what side of the lure is seen, that food can be seen in the center ring. So the first thing I do is I put food on this and have the bird start feeding from this. I'm not twirling it, I'm not dragging it on the ground, I'm just letting the bird get used to feeding from this. Then the next step, of course, is you start throwing the lure in front of the bird, have the bird come from the perch, which is right over here. So the bird jump to the perch, down to the ground to the lure. And that's basically the first steps in getting this lure training going. Now I'm going to explain something to you. You probably couldn't see it from where you were. She was looking at my fist more than the lure. Do you know what's happened? I've been working her to the fist too much. She'd rather come to the fist for the food rather than the lure. That's the danger in doing the lure or doing the fist, having the bird come for meat on the fist too often. That's the danger of that. But watch this. She wouldn't come to the lure. Watch this. Okay, so what I did is I had the bird come to my fist, what she's been used to these last few days. But then from me, I threw the lure on the ground with the food on it. She went to the lure and ate it. Let's see what happens next time. I'll bet she'll come to the lure next time. That's what falconry is about, is with experience, with time, you see how things are going, and there's always the question, why? I presented the lure to the falcon the first time. She wouldn't come down to the lure. My question is, why? Why wouldn't she do that? She's done it many times in this pre-part one, getting ready for the big lure flying event. Why didn't she come to it? I think in my mind, oh, I've been having her come to here. Birds start to get fixated over time. They are creatures of repetition. They are creatures of habit. So I figured if I could get the bird coming from the perch to me, throw the lure out with food on it, she'd go down to the ground, hit the lure. Now she remembers, or it brings back that recollection that that lure is a source of food. So that's what we do, is we train these behaviors together based on the question, why? Why did that work good? Or why did that not work? Or why did that turn out horrible? Ask the question, why? Why was this so successful? Why didn't it work? Or why was it absolutely horrible? And in many cases in falconry, the question is why did this turn out so horrible? Okay. Let's do another one. All right, when this lanner falcon gets done eating its treat on the lure, watch what this bird does. It's so absolutely awesome. Come on, come on. It chases me like a dog. It will just come to me no matter where I'm at and jump right up on my fist. How cool is that? Lanner falcons are known for being great lure birds. Some say they're not good hunting birds. I beg to differ. If it's a falcon, how do falcons survive in the wild of Africa? They hunt their bottoms off. Because if you don't hunt, you die. So to say that a bird is not, this species is not a good hunter, to me, I don't agree with that thought process. Every bird of prey is a good hunter under the right circumstances. I have the female Harris hawk on the perch. This bird is a 2-year-old bird, has not really been worked with as far as falconry purposes. I'm trying to get this bird used to the lure. This is an example. This bird has only come to this lure right in front of it a couple times. The weight seems to be about right. I'm going to hope that when this lure is presented with the food on it, that the Harris hawk will come directly to the lure and feed off of it. So let's see what happens. Not much is going to happen right now because I forgot to take off the hood. I'll be right back. Let me take the hood off the Harris hawk. Okay, here's the question. Why was that not a good transfer? The reason is this bird has not learned to go from the lure back to me yet. That's a work in progress. That, in fact, is part of my training that I need to do with this bird, is because when it comes to the lure, it's coming to the lure now. But now I need it to not only come to the lure, I need to have a good trade-off from going to the lure to me. So what I do is I approach the bird slowly. I approach the bird slowly and have a reward on my gloved fist, so the bird will go from the lure to the reward on my fist. One of the reasons that's not working real well right now is because the bird's a little heavy in weight. All right, let's see if she'll come to the lure a second time here. Something else I want to point out to you. Now, in more advanced lure training, we don't want to have our lure just fall to the ground and have a bird fly from the perch to the ground, especially a falcon. You want that lure in the air and you want that falcon flying the lure. That will come. But something I do is when the bird starts coming to the lure, so when you're doing the lure training and your bird's going from the perch down to the ground to feed off that lure, don't just let it sit there. Give it some action. I'll pull it. I'll walk. In more advanced stages, I'll actually, and the creance is longer, that long line that's keeping this bird from flying away, that creance. When that's real long and I'm a big open spot, when that bird comes in, sometimes I'll pick up the lure and I'll start twirling it, and then the bird actually overshoots the lure, gets to the end of the creance, goes down to the ground and sits, and then I start dragging that lure on the ground, and then the bird will come back to the lure. It's getting it used to working for the food. So we just don't want to take the lure, throw it on the ground, and have the bird come and feed on the ground. What we want the bird to learn to do is chase the lure. That's the whole purpose. Chase the lure. Eventually, you're going to catch that lure. When you catch it, you get your food reward. So on behalf of Falcon Quest Birds of Prey, Make sure you keep your eyes open for part 2 of this video that will be coming out in September, because you will see actual more training with the birds flying eventually off of the creance and free flying. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you have any comments or whatever, put them in the comment section. I'll get back to you. I try to post weekly, try to post every Thursday. Sometimes I can't wait and I post before Thursday. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.
All right, let's play with the Lanner Falcon. Falconry is so fun, you just can't get enough of it. 30 years of falconry, and I'm still like a kid. I can't get enough of this. It's great. It's the best thing ever. Look at the bird.